1, 2, let's go!
Hey, thanks for tuning in again. We got a really cool show for you today. We got a little bit more work done on the Camaro. We also snuck away and had a little bit of time with the Roadster. But then we took a road trip up to Pennsylvania to Kenny Hauk's place in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. Him and Village Kustoms, local here to North Carolina, did a build-off for the ultimate call-out challenge between the two of them, and they made some really awesome, badass rides that are like no other. So let's go for a road trip and check them out. I don't know where the steering wheel is. This isn't gonna work. For today's tech tip, we're going to talk about alignment on a straight axle on your rat rod or hot rod. Let's go over a couple things. All right, first things first, let's talk about the three different types of measurement we're going to deal with this straight axle. That's caster, camber, and toe. Camber refers to your tire tilted in or out at the top. If it is tilted in, that is negative camber. If it's tilted out, that is positive camber. In a straight axle, it's a non-adjustable measurement set by the kingpin. Now, if your kingpin or bushings are worn out, you will have a negative or positive camber, and you also may have loose or sloppy steering. It's important to jack up the axle and check your kingpins and bushings to make sure that they are tight, not worn out, and they're not binding. Make sure you grease them good too. The next measurement we're going to talk about is caster. Caster refers to the center of the kingpin. We're going to exaggerate it with this pipe, and if it is leaned back or forward. In a straight axle, you do want it leaned back, somewhere between 4 and 8 degrees. I like to set mine at 6. If you're running air ride, you want to make sure you have it at ride height when you make this measurement. You can do this by putting an angle finder on top of your kingpin and measuring how many degrees back it is rolled. Make sure it's even across both sides, and then you should be good to go. The next measurement is toe. Now this one you'll probably need a friend, and all you have to do is find a point on this tire and that tire in the front of the tire, measure it, make the same measurement on the back side of the tire. Now, you want it towed in just a little bit in this application, somewhere between 1/4 and 1/8 of an inch. So if your measurement from center to center back here is 70 inches and your measurement in the front is 69 3/4, you are towed in 1/4 inch. Now, if your front measurement is 70 1/2 inches, you're towed out 1/2 an inch, and this thing will drive like absolute crap. Again, 1/8 to 1/4 is a good roundabout measurement. It's a lot easier with a friend, but they do make toe plates and plates that go on the outside of the tire. They make it a little bit easier to do by yourself. If you have any questions about this, feel free to email me at greasyboycustoms@gmail.com. All right, so moving on with the Camaro, we had an issue with the brakes. When we applied the brakes, it was actually sticking and it felt like it wanted to throw you through the windshield. And when you were moving forward or backwards, it would make a groaning noise. Now, all these brake components are brand new and have almost like 3 miles on them maybe. So it's not likely that it's a failed component, maybe just an adjustment issue. We jacked up the car and we moved around to all the wheels after pumping the brakes, and that's when we found out that this one right here is sticking a little bit, and you have to apply some force and then it breaks loose and spins. So we're gonna go ahead and get this wheel off and inspect the components and see where our problem is. As you can see, we took our spreader bolt out and we removed our pads. Now we took a measurement from the inside edge here to the rotor and the inside edge here to the rotor, and come to find out our spacing is actually off. The caliper is actually too far this way. So that is causing an uneven gap, which is causing the pads to seat unevenly as well. So we're going to have to take this back down, take the caliper off, respace it, and then we'll recheck it. All right, mission was successful. We spaced our caliper mounting bracket this way, just one little couple thousandths, that was it. Pumped our brakes up, and look at that, not dragging at all. We've done this a couple times already to make sure it's not still reoccurring. We'll drive it down the road, set the brakes, make sure it's working good. Just got to button up our bearings here and put our wheel back on, and we'll be ready to go on to the next part of this project. Thanks for stopping by, and get the hell out of here.